Mathematics, Chapter 6 Squares and Square Roots. Today I am going to discuss how to find square root by estimation. Let's move to our first question. Now we move to question number 1. Try these questions of page number 107. Estimate the value of the following to the nearest whole number. We can find the approximate square root nearest to the whole number. Our first question 80. Children, you know that 80 is not a perfect square and it lies between the square numbers 64 and 81. That is 8 square equal to 64 and 9 square equal to 81, and you know that 80 lies between 64 and 81. So we can write 64 less than 80 less than 81. Now you can take the difference between 80 and 64, 80 and 81. Which difference is very less, that number we can take it. Here the difference between 80 and 81 is 1. That means 80 is very much closer to 81. So we can take the square root of 81 as the square root of 80. Now we can take the square root. So we can write root 64 less than root 80 less than root 81. And we know that 81 is closer to 80. Or we can write 8 less than root 80 less than 9, and 80 is much nearer to 81. So the square root of 80 can be estimated as the nearest whole number as 9. We can take the square root of 81 as the square root of 80. Our next question, estimate the value of the following to the nearest whole number. Second question, 1000. Children, you know that 30 square equal to 900, 31 square equal to 961, and 32 square equal to 1024. So 1000 lies between the perfect square numbers are 961 and 1024. So we can write 961 less than 1000 less than 1024. Taking the square root, we get square root of 961 less than square root of 1000 less than square root of 1024. Square root of 961 is 31. So we can write 31 less than square root of 1000 less than 32. And children, you know that we have to find the difference between 1000 and 1024. That is 24. Also find the difference between 1000 and 961. That is 39. That means 1000 is very much closer to 1024. So by estimating the square root of 1000 to the nearest whole number, we can take the square root of 1024. That is 32. So square root of 1000 is approximately equal to 32. Estimate the value of the following to the nearest whole number. Our question is 350. We know that if 350 is not a perfect square, so we can find the perfect square number nearer to 350. As we know that 18 square equal to 324, 19 square equal to 361, and 350 lies between 324 and 361. So we can write 324 less than 350 less than 361. Taking the square root, we will get root 324 less than root 350 less than root 361. That is 18 less than root 350 less than 19. Also find the difference between 350 and 361. Similarly 350 and 324. it is understood that 350 is much nearer to 361. Hence, the approximate square root to the nearest whole number we are taking as the square root of 361. So, square root of 350 is approximately equal to 19. Now we move to the next question. Estimate the square root of 500 to the nearest whole number. As 500 is not a perfect square, we can find the square number nearer to 500. They are 22 square and 23 square. And 500 lies between 484 and 529. So we can write 484 less than 500 less than 529. Now taking the square root, we get square root of 484 less than square root of 500 less than square root of 529. Square root of 484 is 22. That is 22 less than square root of 500 less than 23. Now we can find the difference between 500 and 529 and 500 and 484. We got the difference between 500 and 484 as 16 and the difference between 500 and 529 as 29. That means 500 is nearer to 484. So by estimating the square root to the nearest whole number, we took the square root of 484 as the square root of 500. So square root of 500 is approximately equal to 22. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe.